This building was built in 1906. It's the Smallwood Store, and it is a historic location. So we're going to take a look inside, and then tonight we're going to stay in a hammock underneath of it. Now this is Route 29. We're the furthest spot down here. You can't go any further on US 29 unless you get in a boat. All right, well, if you're ready for this random adventure, buckle up because here we go. Let's take a look inside. Now it's no longer a store, but it is a museum, and the owners, Ted Smallwood, the founder of it, his granddaughter is running the store. So I have been in here already, talked to them, and really an amazing place. A lot of stories, a lot of history, and there's some intriguing stories as well, like an unsolved murder and also a few other things. We're going to see what we can find out inside. So right when you walk in the front door, there is the pharmacy, because this was a frontier store. So there was no road that came down this far to Chuckaluski, which is the island that we're on. That was built many years later, but this store did a lot of trading and everything. So Ted Smallwood was not only a pharmacist doing the local medicine, but right behind me was the Chuckaluski post office. So this is the one post office down here on the island, and mail would come in here and you could put your letters in the box. So like I said, a lot of this has not changed, and the floor and everything is all original to the building. The shelves, the countertop. Now, what is very interesting is on this countertop, you can see all the wearing, but you notice the little marks on the counter. So because it was also a trading post, and all of these marks is how when the Seminole Indians would bring in their pelts, or any of the pioneers down in this area would bring their pelts in, they would lay them across here, and Ted would measure them, and they were paid by the foot. And they would either get credit to the store or be paid in cash. But very interesting that the tribes, or the Indians, or the indigenous people that were in the area, they didn't want to be paid by cash. They didn't trust it. So what they had is Ted had a box. It was called his bank, for the Indian bank. So this wooden chest was actually where Ted Smallwood kept money and other valuables for the Seminole Indians who traded at the Smallwood store, but they wanted to be paid in silver. So it goes on to say that his daughters actually had to reline the pockets with canvas because they had to replace them all the time. So this building was raised in 1917, so it's on its pillars that it wasn't on originally. Originally it was down on the ground, but they did raise it. Now Chuckaluski Island is actually a shell island, meaning it was built up, or a shell mound, by the native indigenous people that were here. I think it is Calusa Indians, but here's Mr. Smallwood sitting in his chair here. So this is a really interesting, kind of preserved in time with all of the artifacts. Now, Lynn did tell me that 95% of this is an original building. Anything that was made out of Dade County pine, it just holds up. So there was some of the things that weren't Dade County that they had to replace whenever they got donations and things to kind of redo it again. But yeah, let's keep walking down this way. So then you come to this display. And so when I was talking about murder, unsolved murder, this explains it. So Mr. Watson, he was a sugar cane farmer, and he would hire people from outside of town. And a lot of the locals started finding out that there were bodies turning up, and you can see the map here where they found different bodies in and around the area. And well, it was 1910. Mr. Watson had come to the trading post, and the story goes that he was confronted by the town's men, and he went to go shoot his shotgun at the crowd that was confronting him. And it says right here that Mamie Smallwood sold Mr. Watson damp paper shotgun shells. And when he fired the shotgun at the crowd, the gun misfired. And then the townsmen shot him. Now, from the story, it goes that it was happened right outside on the dock, pretty much close to where we're sleeping tonight. But it happened outside. Now, it took, because it was a different county that he had a sugarcane farm in, he had lived in a different county. So when the authorities came from that county, it took them 2 weeks. And they never knew who shot Mr. Watson. So it is an unsolved mystery. There is a book by Peter Matheson, Killing Mr. Watson. So if you want to know more about it, you can look that up. But you can also find it on stories on the internet as well. But it is the whole town. Nobody was ever brought to justice for that murder. So this is actually Grandma Smallwood. So that's a picture of her. And then when you come down through here, then there's a lot of pictures in this store of not only people that were in the area at the time that traded here, but also a lot of the different tribes and Indians, indigenous people that were in this area. But here you've got Lynn's mother as well. But you can see all the pictures here, and this was a regular trading post for people in the area, pioneers, as well as the indigenous people. So basically, as an outpost, this was a one-stop shop. So you could get everything from, flour to lard, and then also hardware stuff, whether you had a piece of machinery to fix or anything like that. But it's been around for over 100 years. So just the artifacts that have been in this store just from the past, it's really incredible to look back to see how they lived down here in the Everglades. When you're totally surrounded by water, you got to figure out how to get here. And most of the times it was by sailboat. But there would be merchant ships that would bring all the flour and stuff and to the little store way out here. Now, over on the other side of the building, there's actually a movie that plays talking about life in the Everglades. So if you want to see that, you can go sit down. Now, it was $5 to get in to tour the museum, but well worth it. A lot of artifacts in here. Oh, look at this old sink. And right next to it, there's a table set. That would have been the Smallwood's table set, very laid out right there, and that's how they would have come together to eat dinner. So this is their dinner table. So even the old windows get closed, and there's actually a pulley system. You can see the shutters when they get it all the way closed. They've even got wires on them. They get latched and hooked because this is a hurricane-prone area, and this has survived multiple hurricanes. It is a high point, one of the high points in the area, but even higher now that it's up on stilts. All right, that does it for upstairs. And if you do come here and Lynn is here, so that's Lynn Smallwood. So she is the granddaughter of Mr. Smallwood, who started this. And so I want to say thank you very much, but you have boat tours as well.
Yeah, we do boat tours out in what is now the Everglades National Park. Another name for it is the 10,000 Islands, which this is what Chuckaluski is one of those. We're pretty much surrounded by the Everglades National Park, so we have a really good location here. Yeah. Probably because we were here for over 100 years.
Yeah. So. And one of the things too that I've noticed is Lynn is very, very knowledgeable about the area and all that went on in the Everglades because stories being passed down over years. And one, she's related, so she would have a lot of stories. And I actually spent the day here yesterday just listening to all the discussions. So she engages a lot. If you've got questions, this is the one to ask. And I want to thank you for allowing me to come in here.
No problem. We enjoyed having you.
Yeah. And just so y'all know, I did get permission to hang the hammock underneath of it, right?
I think it'll be a much more enjoyable one tonight since it's actually warming up. So,
Right.
But it's a beautiful spot.
Beautiful spot, and I'm looking forward to
You can
it.
listen to the dolphins swimming by.
Oh, really?
Oh, you'll hear them blow out there because they swim around the island all night long.
Okay. Well, that sounds great. So thank you, Lynn, and I'm going to go get set up for a night in the hammock. All right, guys. We got the sun going down, so I got to get something to eat. So I'm going to cook something in the off the back of the car, and then we're going to hang our hammock. Okay, we're going to get our table set up here, and I've got the cook pot, so we're going to use our Blue Eddy. And what are we having for dinner? Well, let me get it out of the refrigerator. So we're having a ribeye shaved steak. So that's one of the things we're having. What are we putting on it? Well, we're going to melt some Old Croc cheese. So we got some Malden's flake salt, so we're gonna add that to it while it's cooking. Now we just gotta cut up our cheese. So this is a smoked cheese, so that's gonna go real good with this ribeye. We're just gonna cut it up into some chunks and toss it in there and let it melt. Okay, there you have it. There's our cheesesteak with shaved ribeye is what that is. So I'm gonna get the first bite here, and then I'm gonna enjoy the rest of this sunset, eat this, and then, like I said, we have got to get our hammock hung for the night. Oh boy. Nothing like a ribeye. Very good. I can taste that smoky flavor of that cheddar. Another bite, and then I got to get busy. There you are. Dinner's done. Dinner's all cleaned up. Car's shut up. And I don't know if you can hear that. But I've got the backpack. I've got the hammock. So I'm going to use the Dutch Wear Gear, my Hellbender hammock. I don't even have a spot picked out yet, but I just know we're going over to the underneath here. And we're losing light, so we got to get busy. But the dinner portion of the evening is done. So this is actually a once in a lifetime hang here. Now, a little bit about this. Now, I've looked it up and I've read about it. This is a haunted location. There's been many reports throughout the years that it's haunted. Hearing footsteps upstairs, seeing people indoors, a lot of different kind of stuff. There's stuff on it. I just found that out recently. In fact, a little bit before, Lynn said, "Hey, you could sleep here." Thanks, Lynn. I'll let you know if I hear anything. Now, she did say she's had a couple times where she has heard stuff and seen stuff. So, look it up. But we're gonna stay here all night long. So let me set the backpack down right here and get my jacket out and get that on. Then we'll step this thing out. It's getting chilly. So the back of the store right here, this is the upper porch. And then underneath here, you've got the hole underneath of it. But you can see there's a beam right here. And then there's one about 6 paces or 6 steps, you know, regular normal steps right here. And I think I can make that work. Definitely got a beautiful view for waking up and going to sleep. But Lynn was saying we might hear some dolphins. Oh, look at that. Lights came on. Oh, that is perfect. They must be solar lights. Be a little nightlight will help. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the hammock up. I'll show you how that turns out once I get it up and show you what the view looks like and where we're exactly hanging. Okay, we are all done. So you can see I went around right there with the strap, and that's the strap that holds the hammock. So right there's the anaconda, but there's the hammock hanging. So this is a sewn-in underquilt on this hammock, and that is going to be needed tonight because it is going to get chilly. Down to about 47 degrees, and that's cold for Florida, especially this time of year, but they've been having a cold snap. Let me give this a sit and a lay and see how we got it all adjusted. It's feeling good so far. Oh, nice a swing. All right, let me get my lay down on it once. Oh, that's comfortable. Oh my goodness, is this gonna be awesome. I could just end the video right here, right? Oh my goodness. There is a slight breeze blowing, but it's not bothering me. I can feel it going across my face. But if you don't know anything about hammocks, when you get below 67 degrees Fahrenheit, you need an underquilt. So this hammock has a down underquilt on it, and any wind that blows, I don't feel it. But if I didn't have that, my back would get cold. There's a term for it called cold butt syndrome, and you don't want that. This is really gonna be a sweet night, unless I hear ghosts. No, well, we'll see what happens. So out here, that is a dock, and I'm looking down. So I have to be extra careful. I do not drop my phone through those boards. That would not be good. All right. Well, I'm going to get up and spin around and watch the rest of that sunset. You can see the solar lights are dimming. I've been sitting here listening to all the sounds out in the water. I can't see out there. And I don't know if you can hear it, but I hear splashing. Birds off in the distance. But I was sitting here thinking, Lynn had mentioned to me that there is a geocache at this location, and I got my phone out. I'm going to look it up, and yeah. So I'll bring you back once I figure out how to get this app open. Yeah, a lot of noises out there. Okay, you can see it right here. It's on that front corner of the building, so we're gonna walk underneath of the Smallwood Store and make our way to the front and see if we can find this. So I got my little light here. Looks like it's not too far from the front door. Now, I don't know if it'll be on the ground, but I'm thinking it may be up on one of the beams. I don't hear any footsteps upstairs, so that's good. Oh, there's a panel box right over there. I don't think it'd be there, but I think we're getting close. Oh, there it is. Right there. All right, I'm going to get that down. I'm going to bring it over to the picnic table and lay it out. Let's take a look at, see what's inside this thing. This is my very first ever geocache. So in that plastic container, it looks like there's a pencil and a Ziploc bag with some paper, and it looks like people are writing their names and dates on it. But we got a Best Western card. Looks like a Humane Society card, and then a Janet Berry, PA card. Looks like a carabiner with a little circle thing around it. And this looks like something for little hair clips. Yeah. We got a golf tee. Oh, look at that little jig. Oh, if I had a fishing pole. We got a Bud Light bottle cap and a Santa Claus. Oh, look at that. So from what I understand, you take something out of it and you leave something. I think that's how it works, but I'm not going to take anything. But I am going to leave a couple Random Adventures 2.0 stickers in there. I've got a couple of them. I got more in the car. Maybe I'll fill it up tomorrow with some more, but I'm going to throw those in there, and then we're going to put it back. That was a lot of fun. My first ever, right? All right, I signed it, so it's in here. And I looked at some of the other names on there, and it goes all the way back to 2022 and 2023. So there was quite a few, so let's put this back. Okay, there it is, safe and sound, back in its spot. I wonder if I ought to do an RA 2.0 sticker drop. So I think what I'll do is I'll maybe sign a picture of me and put it up in the store and give it to Lynn. And if anybody stops here and says, hey, did Tony drop a picture off? And just ask Lynn and she'll give you my signed picture along with, I'll leave some stickers in the store too. It'll be a different kind of geocache, right? The RA 2.0 sticker drop. All right, I'm gonna work my way back to the hammock. Oh, there is one tree I wanted to show you. It's in the driveway. It's right next to the store. And this tree is huge. It is an old growth tree. And Lynn said it's over 100 years old. It's been here since her grandfather owned the store, so it's well over 100 years old. So just thinking about it, you know, all the people that leaned up against this tree or saw this tree, played around this tree, you know, the Native American children, the settlers' children. Really cool. A lot of history there. All right, I think the boat launch is right over in this direction too. And that's where they go out with their tours. Looks like the tide's heading out. But there's a lot of shells. Guess I should kind of watch for alligators being this close to the water. That water's pretty clear. It looks like it drops off pretty good right out there. Don't want to fall in there. Nope. Okay, I am in the hammock. I'm ready to go to bed. This has been a really great day. I've had a lot of fun. Now it's time to go to bed. I'm going to be listening for the dolphins. I'll let you know if I hear anything overnight, but until morning, you have a great night, and I'll see you in the morning. Alrighty, you know what we say, lights out. Good night. Well, good morning. That was a fantastic sleep. The night couldn't have gone any better. It went quicker than I thought it would go. But about 4:45 in the morning, I was hearing some splashing over there, and I was like, I can't see anything. But then it was over here, and I leaned over, and I saw a dolphin jump out of the water. So I grabbed my camera. I was worried about dropping it through the slits, but I grabbed my camera, held it up, and next thing you know, he was jumping over here, and I turned, and I was trying to hit record, and I missed it. So you guys don't get to see it, but I saw it. And what a memory that's going to be. That is the first time I ever hung under a historic building in a hammock, saw a dolphin jump out of the water. I tell you, it doesn't get any better than that. I'm going to go ahead and get up and take a look around here this morning, and yeah, well, alrighty, if you're ready for the day, here we go. I'm not going to bring you along all day, though. I'm just going to tear things down and kind of wrap this up. But I want to get up and kind of take a look at, the building from the outside a little bit now this morning. That full moon last night was amazing. The time lapse is probably going to be washed out a little bit because it was so bright all night long. And then there were lights. The lights would just come on and off at different times. I don't know. And then I was having some problems with some of the equipment and some of the stories that you read about being haunted. Now, I didn't experience anything except for just a little bit of lighting, and my phone kept disconnecting from the camera. So they did say that there some of the paranormal stuff that people talked about that I did read said about experiencing difficulty with electronics. You never know. So it did get down to 44 degrees last night, but I was fine in the hammock with the sewn in underquilt and then that top quilt, so that was no problem at all. And there was a slight breeze that was coming through, blowing from that direction this way, so I was kind of blocked by the Smallwood Store for the breeze, but I could hear the flag flapping out there. Yeah, we got the sun coming up. Yeah, it's a good morning. It really is. It's going to warm up pretty quick today. They're calling for, I think, 75. So that's getting closer to the Florida weather I always hear about. Now, I have experienced it last year where I was running around in a t-shirt. That's always fun in winter, right? Okay, so I'm going to walk up, I'm going to get a cup of coffee, come down here, sit, and then break down the hammock, and I'll talk to you once I'm all ready to pack up. Okay, I got everything broke down in the back. That was a great night's sleep. I really enjoyed it. And that's a once in a lifetime opportunity for me to to Hammock under a historic building, the Smallwood Store, and to think that Mr. Watson was murdered right on the side, an unsolved mystery, and just to experience the history within this area has just been a real joy and a blessing. I hope you've enjoyed coming along on this random adventure. Now, I went inside the building and you saw the tour, but I did not tell you half of what's in there, not even a smidget of what's in there. And the post office, you know, Ted Smallwood was the first postmaster on this island. There's so much. I can't explain it all. It's just a lot. So you got to come down here and do some research, and it's all you got to do is ask. And if Lynn is here, she'll share with you anything that you want to know about her store, her grandfather, and the family, and just the area, the Everglades, the Thousand Islands. Yeah, you'll spend hours like I did. But on the weekends, Woody, I wish he would have been here to be in the video. Maybe I'll talk to him next time I come down, but I really enjoyed my time I spent with Woody. Everybody here on this island has been so gracious and so nice. Really got a chance to meet quite a few locals here and then also up in Everglades City. So this is really the last area before you head to the Keys. 3 hours that way, or Cuba or something's 3 hours that way, but it's all that way. All right, and I'm going that way, back up north. I want to say thanks a lot for coming along. We got to say salute, cheers, good morning. First sip. Now that's a good cup of coffee. Yeah, it is. All right, so before I go, I did take and sign a picture with my sticker on it. I'm gonna leave that in the store. If you're the first one that stops down here after seeing this video, just ask Lynn or anybody in there, hey, am I the first one? Can I get Tony's picture? And if you're the first one, you get the picture, unless you don't want a picture. I am going to leave stickers in there too. So if the picture's no longer there, there's going to be about 10 or 12 stickers. All right, well, I got to get going. I got to start working my way north. And what are we doing next? I don't know, because it's random. And there is going to be a video every Thursday night, a camping video, and I got tons of stuff. If this is your first time watching, on there's car camping, stealth camping, hammock camping, camping, all kinds of interesting stuff. All right, well, I got to get going. Tony 2.0, you have a great week, and we'll see you on the next adventure. Out.